Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into a massive, high-stakes strategic roadmap. We're going to break down an exclusive report prepared by the AI research firm Disruptivity, which details a total operational pivot for the global manufacturing giant Atlas Copco. Honestly, if you've ever wondered exactly how a century-old market leader prepares for an AI-driven future, you are absolutely in the right place.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We are analyzing a long-term strategic roadmap crafted by Disruptivity for a 150-year-old industrial titan. I mean, Atlas Copco practically built the modern industrial world with their hardware. But what happens when the rules of the game literally change overnight? This roadmap isn't just about making slightly better machines. It's about fundamentally rewiring a global business to survive some serious digital disruption. Here is exactly what we're covering today: the Atlas Copco legacy, the great industrial shift, Disruptivity's strategic roadmap, building the data core, scaling uptime as a service, and finally, future-proofing your business. Think of this explainer as a high-level masterclass in navigating an existential business model disruption. Let's get to it. Section 1. The Atlas Copco legacy, 150 years of hardware mastery. Before we look at where they're going, we really need to grasp where they are right now. They are an absolute powerhouse in the industrial sector, commanding deep, enduring customer loyalty across everything from manufacturing and semiconductors to energy. They've got an incredible history of adaptation, too. Founded way back in 1873 making railway gear, they merged in 1917 to shift focus entirely to pneumatics and compressors. Fast forward to today, a massive 85% of their R&D goes straight into sustainable advancements, and they are targeting steady mid-single-digit sales growth for 2026. The key takeaway here: they know how to pivot. They have successfully adapted to massive economic shifts before, but the shift coming at them right now, it's a whole different beast.
Just take a look at this single vital number, 35%. Actually, roughly 35 to 37% of Atlas Copco's revenue already comes from aftermarket and digital services. This is a huge clue, and it perfectly tees up the core conflict of our explainer today. The realization that simply selling physical equipment alone, it's just no longer enough to guarantee long-term survival.
Which brings us to Section 2, the Great Industrial Shift, CapEx to OpEx. So the crucial point is this punchy, alarming insight straight from the Disruptivity report. We are witnessing the death of the transactional hardware sale. Wow, that is a massive statement. It really emphasizes the severe threat of technological disruption facing traditional manufacturing models. The competitive moat is shifting entirely away from purely mechanical efficiency. To put this into perspective, contrast these two models. In the old world of capital expenditure, customers buy expensive machinery up front and then react when it breaks down. But in the new world of operational expenditure, specifically equipment as a service, customers do not want to buy metal compressors anymore. They want guaranteed outcomes. They literally just want to buy cubic meters of air and predictive uptime. This completely flips the script on how Atlas Copco has operated for a century and a half. Moving right along to Section 3, Disruptivity's strategic roadmap. How does a legacy giant transition into this new world without totally cannibalizing its own success? Well, Disruptivity designed a master strategic plan to overcome this exact existential threat. And this brilliantly illustrates Disruptivity's core mission for Atlas Copco: architecting the autonomous industrial utility ecosystem. The goal by 2030 is to become the indispensable AI-orchestrated circulatory system for the world's most advanced factories. They aren't just dropping machines onto a factory floor anymore. They want to be the invisible, flawless utility provider that keeps the entire factory breathing. To pull this off, the roadmap outlines 4 core strategic initiatives. First, establish a unified data core. Second, scale uptime as a service. Third, lead the energy transition. And fourth, execute disciplined portfolio expansion. This is the exact blueprint for shifting them from a standard equipment vendor to an indispensable utility provider. Let's zoom in on that first pillar in Section 4, building the data core. This right here is the absolute foundational element of the entire strategy. Without this, none of the future AI-driven services are even possible. Disruptivity highlights this as a no-regret foundation. You see, historically, Atlas Copco has operated with these highly decentralized, siloed business areas. And hey, that was a strength in the past. But in the digital age, It's a critical vulnerability. They absolutely have to smash those historical data silos across their 4 business areas if they want to survive. So what exactly is it? The Unified Data Core is a proprietary cloud-native global platform. It's designed to constantly suck in real-time operational data from every single connected compressor, vacuum pump, and tool out there, which then powers cross-divisional predictive AI analytics. It's their new digital moat. It is absolutely necessary to make the massive leap from selling hardware to providing guaranteed autonomous industrial utility services. Which takes us to Section 5, Scaling Uptime as a Service. Once that data foundation is laid, how does this strategy actually hit the market? Let's move to and see how this builds in the real world. Disruptivity mapped out a very methodical, step-by-step rollout here. Step 1 is a rapid 90-day pilot guaranteeing uptime for 5 high-stakes semiconductor clients. Step 2 requires creating a highly complex quantitative pricing model, literally figuring out exactly what to charge for a unit of compressed air. Step 3 is a massive internal hurdle, retraining traditional engineers and sales forces to sell financial modeling and operational savings instead of just mechanical specs. And Step 4 is the ultimate goal, converting 25% of new equipment sales in high-growth sectors by 2031. This goal right here, shifting 25% of new sales over to an entirely new subscription model in just a few years, that is a bold, transformational bet. It requires a massive change in corporate culture. It completely rewires their financial structures and risk management. Think about it. If a machine breaks down under this new model, it's Atlas Copco's financial loss, not the customers. That is exactly why that AI and predictive data core we just talked about is absolutely crucial. And finally, Section 6, Future-proofing your business. We've spent a lot of time looking at the giants, but let's pivot the focus directly to you and your operations. The exact dynamics at play for Atlas Copco are rippling through every single sector of the modern economy right now. I want you to stop and ask yourself, is your business model really prepared for the AI-driven shift from products to outcomes? Seriously, if a 150-year-old hardware leader is completely restructuring to sell uptime instead of machines, how resilient is your current value proposition? You have to consider how the lessons from this huge pivot apply directly to your market. But here's the good news. You don't have to navigate this blind. As business owners and executives, you can utilize the exact framework that Disruptivity used here. You need to identify future scenarios and figure out where the value pools are migrating in your specific industry. You should be running advanced simulations on your pricing and operational models right now, before the market forces your hand. And you can literally leverage Disruptivity's management consulting as a service to objectively stress test your plans and architect your very own unified data strategy. Because this shift to AI, servitization, and predictive data isn't some far-off future trend. It is happening right now, completely restructuring the foundations of industry. So I will leave you with this final thought to chew on. Will you disrupt your own business, or are you going to wait for the market to do it for you? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep adapting, and I'll catch you next time.